That's what happens when you add a 4-inch lift kit, upgraded suspension, and a set of Falken Wildpeak AT3s to a Sprinter van. Now, I won't lie, part of the reason I did this was from an aesthetics point of view. However, there are some far more practical reasons why I'm doing this. These tyres that I'm sat on at the moment are 3 Peaks mountain rated, so they can handle snow, as well as being fantastic on-road. And let's be honest, most people who run these type of tyres on their vans, they're not really taking them off roads. Then you've got the suspension upgrades. At the moment, I can feel every bump, every lump, every pothole, every road that isn't immaculately paved. I've got a lot of plans underneath this van, whether it's underbody protection or water tanks or just general servicing. And having that additional lift is going to mean that I can crawl under there and do anything I need to do far more easily. The approach and departure angles, as well as the clearance below the middle of the van, means that any roads that I'm on in the future, I'm not going to be concerned about hitting anything. And that's really why I'm doing it. So let's get to it.
This is M2M Conversions in Portland, Dorset. John and his team specialise in exactly this kind of work, and I wanted someone who knew what they were doing. This isn't a job you want to get wrong. What you're about to watch is a 13.5-hour day. One day, start to finish. I think that's worth appreciating. John was generous enough to let me get stuck in alongside him. Apparently that's not standard practice. I'd like to think I was helpful. John might have a different opinion. I won't walk you through every bolt, but this took a full day between the two of us, and there were plenty of moments where the original hardware needed some persuasion. First up, the leaf springs, front and rear. Here's the old ones next to the new ones. The difference is immediately obvious. The new springs are significantly stiffer and taller, and combined with the lift blocks, that's where most of the height actually comes from. This is the bit most people don't see when they look at a lifted van. It's not just spacers and bigger tyres. The whole suspension geometry changes. Now, before anyone says it, yes, I know a 4x4 Sprinter already sits at this kind of ride height and is genuinely more capable off-road. So why didn't I just get one of those? A few reasons. Firstly, 4x4 Sprinters are a rarity in the UK, especially the 906 variant at low mileage. Second, when you do find one, you're often paying a significant premium. Third, more components, meaning more things can go wrong. And fourth, honestly, a rear-wheel drive Sprinter with a decent set of tyres will get you to most places you want to go to. Is it a 4x4? No. Is it going to get me everywhere I need to go? Absolutely. A few additional jobs on the day. The brake lines needed extending to account for the increased suspension travel, and the power steering column and fluid line both required extensions too. Details that don't make for exciting footage, but you can't skip over them.
Those have seen better days.
One thing worth mentioning, the shocks you'll see in this video aren't actually the conies I'd planned on. There was a slight mix-up with the parts order and they weren't on site in time, so we used a temporary set to get the job done on the day. The conies are on their way to me and I'll be fitting them myself. I'll cover that in a future video when the time comes. Everything else you're seeing exactly as planned.
What the hell's that? That normal, is it?
Yes.
There's a 2 jacking.
This family had come in to look at some of the conversions John was doing. I was under the van at the time.
It's the best van here, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'll just be the stuffing that should come down a bit more. That's
Perfect.
The front kit.
Okay.
You should get that. Get this side in.
Don't you slice your thumb off.
Clamps.
The tyre change is significant on its own. I went from 235 by 65 by 16 to a 235 by 85 by 16. If you want to visualize exactly what that means, tyresize.com is brilliant for comparing dimensions side by side. The diameter increase alone accounts for a meaningful chunk of that extra ride height. After a huge effort from the both of us, but mainly John, the new wheels could go on after the lift was completed. And this is the moment. They say you can't put a price on a few more inches. Turns out you can. It's just over £3,000. 6.2 inches of total ride height from original stock. 4 inches from the lift and the suspension increases, and just over 2 inches from the new tyres and their increased diameter. Now onto MPG. When I went down to Portland to have the van lifted, the MPG for that trip read 32, and on the way back it read 27.9. But that does also factor in a 15-minute test drive just after the lift was completed around Portland, which is extremely hilly. Plus, due to the increased tyre diameter, the speedo is actually currently under reading, which means that actually the van is covering more ground than the speedo thinks it is, which actually means the real MPG is very close to the original, probably around 30.5. £3,000 for the M2M lift service and £750 for the 5 tyres. Is it a lot? Yes. Is it worth it? Look at it.